Super Bowl week was starting to feel almost quiet. Too quiet. And if you've watched this team long enough, you know that's usually when something lands out of nowhere and shifts the entire vibe. Today brought one of those moments, something that could tilt the mood around this defense without even needing a grand reveal up front. At the same time, there's a development on Seattle's side that could change the way Sunday gets managed snap to snap. And in our own locker room, you've got a captain speaking like he's made a vow, while the calendar stays totally unforgiving. Then a Patriots legend steps in with a comparison that could either settle a rookie down or crank the pressure up. So let me ask you straight, do you trust the plan right now? And if you're rolling with Patriots Nation all week, hit that like button and get comfortable, because we're not taking the scenic route today. Some rumors don't show up because somebody needs content. They show up because the league can feel the tension in the air, and the second that kind of chatter brushes up against Foxborough, everything gets louder. Maxx Crosby. Just hearing the name makes you pause, like, hold on, is that actually in play? There's talk he could be available in a trade, and the piece that really grabs you is the buzz around where he'd want to land. The idea being floated is that he wants to play for Mike Vrabel. Not, it'd be interesting. Not, maybe down the road. It's being framed as something Crosby has said before. Vrabel is the kind of head coach he wants to go to war with. Now picture a Vrabel defense with Crosby healthy. This isn't only about sacks. It's about the constant disruption that changes how an offense calls a game. Crosby isn't a one-number defender. The pressure doesn't shut off. He's the kind of pass rusher that forces protections to slide, forces quarterbacks to move their launch points, and makes offenses start calling plays like they're trying to survive instead of attack. 10 sacks, 70-plus tackles, forced fumbles, passes defended. He's a wrecking ball that never runs out of fuel. And then you get to the part nobody wants to hear but everyone has to acknowledge. A player like that isn't cheap. If teams start stacking this up next to the biggest recent trades for elite defensive talent, you're talking about a massive return. Multiple first-round picks and a real player going back the other way as the baseline, not the finish line. Then there's the money. Then there's the extension. The kind of number where you see it on paper and you instinctively exhale a little. But the Patriots can actually operate in that lane. That's the point. The cap situation gives breathing room, and Vrabel gives something that might matter just as much as cash: credibility. Players like Crosby don't want another rebuild. They want structure, identity, a place that feels like it knows exactly what it is. When Foxborough is right, that's what it sells: clarity, purpose, standards. And yeah, nothing is confirmed yet. It's talk, it's smoke. But it's the kind of smoke where you can already imagine the fire if the wind shifts the right way. So I'll put it on you. Would you pay that price for a defensive monster in his prime, or do you keep the future locked up in the draft safe? While we're all trying to digest that, something happens on Seattle's side that can mess with the emotional balance of Sunday. Nick Emanwori, rookie safety, but don't let rookie fool you into thinking he's a background player. He became a major piece of what they do: fast, versatile, aggressive. The kind of defender who makes a quarterback hesitate before the snap because the picture keeps changing and the answers keep moving. And in a midweek practice, he goes down with an ankle issue. He walked off under his own power, but the key detail is the follow-up imaging. That's not maintenance. That's we need answers. And with 4 days left before the Super Bowl, that becomes a storyline whether anyone likes it or not. For New England, it's not just about whether a starter is out there. It's about what Emanwori represents in their scheme. He's not simply a deep safety hanging in center field. Seattle's been using him like a chess piece. Nickel looks, linebacker looks, pressure looks, coverage rotations that turn simple reads into traps. If he can't go, or if he's limited, that part of the playbook shrinks. The disguise gets harder. The margin for error gets thinner. One quick note, because I can already hear the temptation. Don't fall into the trap of relaxing just because somebody on the other side might be banged up. That's not Patriot way. If Emanwori suits up through it, adrenaline can make him dangerous. If he doesn't, Seattle's going to try to cover that space with aggression somewhere else. Either way, nothing comes easy on this stage. So the real question becomes, can this Patriots offense attack what's vulnerable without forcing something dumb? Can Drake May take what's there, stay on schedule, and punish any hesitation in that back end? Because while people are staring at a rookie's ankle, The heavier pressure point sits right in the middle of our own defense. This is where the week starts to feel heavy, because the biggest tension isn't always across the field. Sometimes it's inside your own building. Robert Spillane didn't practice again, and if you're a casual fan, you might shrug. If you understand what he actually does for this defense, you feel it immediately. He's not just a linebacker, he's the voice, the signal caller, the guy lining people up, checking looks, fixing angles, settling everything down before the snap. When that guy isn't out there during Super Bowl prep, it changes the entire feel of the operation. Communication, confidence, timing, all of it. And then Spillane steps up and talks like someone who's already made the call. He expects to be ready. He's describing day-by-day progress, running, cutting, living in treatment, basically turning recovery into a 24/7 job. It's inspiring, sure, but it's also the kind of reminder nobody can ignore. Ankles don't care how badly you want it. From a strategy standpoint, Spillane being out, or Spillane at less than full strength, doesn't just mean next man up. It affects communication speed. It affects adjustments. And against Seattle, tiny delays can turn into chunk plays. One half step late on a fit, one misread on motion, one missed tackle in space, and you're staring at points on the board. The good news is, Drake May is back to full participation, and Harold Landry is in the mix too. That matters because it takes some of the pressure off the defense having to be perfect every single snap. But it also brings up the question nobody enjoys saying out loud. Is Spillane at 80% still better than the backup at 100%? That isn't really a fan debate. That's a staff decision. A tough one. And while we're all trying to read between the lines on that situation, a voice from Patriots history shows up and puts a spotlight on a rookie in a way that hits different. Matt Light spoke about Will Campbell, and it didn't sound like a distant, polite compliment. It sounded personal, like he sees himself in the kid. Light said he likes the way Campbell approaches the game, how he handles himself, and he pointed right at the parallels that make Patriots fans sit up a little straighter. Rookie year, thrown into the fire, gets banged up, comes back, and now he's walking into the Super Bowl. That's powerful. It can also be a lot to carry, because the truth is simple. Campbell has to play better on Sunday. Not eventually, not next year, Sunday. His playoff run has been uneven. He held up okay against the Chargers, then the Texans game got rough. Pressures, sacks. It looked like the moment was speeding up on him. Against Denver, it steadied some, but there were still leaks and mistakes that swing momentum. One false start at the wrong time, and suddenly you're talking about a longer kick, a missed chance, a different scoreboard. Those are the tiny moments that live forever in a Super Bowl. Seattle's defense is no joke. Top tier in yards allowed, near the top in sacks. They're going to test him early. They're going to test him late. They're going to test him on 3rd and long when everybody in the building knows the pass is coming. And right now, the biggest difference is mental. I'll say it once and keep it moving. Left tackle isn't just, don't give up a sack. It's rhythm. It's confidence. It's giving your quarterback enough trust in the pocket for routes to develop and for the offense to stay aggressive without playing scared. A steady left tackle expands what you can call. An unstable one turns every drop back into a hold-your-breath moment. Campbell doesn't have to be flawless. He has to be solid, firm, consistent. And hearing Matt Light, someone who protected Tom Brady's blindside, won rings, and lived this exact pressure, could be the mental shove that helps Campbell play free instead of tight. Not pressure, heritage. So take a step back and look at the whole board. You've got a potential defensive superstar being floated as a future move. You've got uncertainty on Seattle's side that could affect their coverage and disguise. You've got our captain fighting the clock and the pain to be on the field for the biggest game of his life. And you've got a rookie tackle with the weight of history in his ear, trying to become a pillar instead of a problem. That's Patriots football. Pressure, decisions, identity. So I want it from you. What decides this Super Bowl? Is it the defense getting that one stop in the red zone? Is it Drake May staying poised when the pass rush closes in? Or is it pure guts? Guys playing through pain and playing through noise? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and let's live this Sunday together.